You know that feeling when you walk into a room and it just feels right? Or when you walk into another and it feels, I don't know, cold and clinical? Well, a huge part of that comes down to light. We're about to dive into how the design of light is one of the most powerful, yet super overlooked forces that shapes how we feel every single day.
Right? I mean, think about it. The warm, soft glow of your favorite coffee shop versus, say, the buzzing fluorescent lights of an old office building. That huge difference is not an accident. It's completely by design. And it's about way more than just looks. It has this massive impact on our energy and our planet.
In fact, get this, a full 12% of all the electricity we use in the United States goes straight into lighting. That is a huge number. So optimizing this stuff is a really big deal. But how do designers actually get it right? Well, it all starts not with a light bulb, but with understanding the incredible science of how we see. Yeah, to really get a handle on lighting design, we have to start with the amazing biological and psychological machine that interprets it all, the human eye and, of course, the brain.
This quote from lighting expert Norbert Lechner just nails it. It's the whole idea in a nutshell. A light meter can tell you the quantity of light, sure, but it can't tell you a single thing about the quality of the experience or how that space actually feels. That part, the important part, happens inside our heads. Let's break that down a bit. A meter measures something called luminance. That's the objective, physical amount of light bouncing off a wall. But what your brain perceives is brightness, and that is a completely subjective experience. It changes based on the context, what you were just looking at, everything. And our eyes are just beautifully equipped for this. We have two main types of light-sensitive cells. The cone cells, they handle sharp details and all that vibrant color. That's why bright, colorful spaces feel so exciting and stimulating. But then you have the rod cells. They're our low-light specialists. It's why in a dimly lit romantic restaurant, colors seem softer and details kind of fade. Designers use that on purpose to create intimacy. This leads to some really fascinating psychological tricks, like something called brightness constancy. Basically, your brain knows a white wall is white, so it sees it as being uniformly bright, even if a light meter would tell you that the side by the window is getting 10 times more light than the corner. It's an amazing trick. And this is a core principle. Designers aren't creating for the meter, they're creating for our perception. So, with that in mind, where do the best designers start? Well, they begin with the best, most dynamic, most interesting light source we have, the sun. And that brings us to the art and science of daylighting.
I mean, it's pretty hard to argue with this one, right? Natural light is free, and its benefits are just huge. Study after study shows it can improve our health, our productivity, our mood. It's wild. Students in classrooms with lots of natural light have been shown to learn faster. Retail stores with great daylighting, they actually see higher sales. It's an incredibly powerful tool. And the energy savings are just immense. A really well-designed building can slash its lighting energy needs by as much as 70%, especially in places like offices and schools. I mean, this isn't some small tweak, it's a total game changer for how we power our buildings.
So how do they do it? Well, sometimes it's as simple as smart geometry. Look at this diagram. The higher you put a window on a wall, the deeper that natural light can reach into a room. A good rule of thumb for designers is that a window can light up a space to a depth of about twice its own height. Simple, but super effective. Architects also use these really clever tools, like this thing, a light shelf. So this external fin, it blocks the harsh, direct sun that causes glare, but its top surface is reflective, and it bounces all that wonderful sunlight up onto the ceiling. The ceiling then acts like this one giant soft light fixture, pushing that beautiful light way, way deep into the room. It's so elegant.
But you know, daylight doesn't last forever. For most of human history, the setting of the sun basically dictated everyone's life. That all changed with the invention of its partner in crime, artificial light. And its evolution is this really fascinating story of constantly getting more and more efficient. The journey of artificial light has just been this relentless march of innovation, from the very first gas lamps that literally made 24-hour factory work possible, to Edison's incandescent bulb, to those fluorescent tubes that were everywhere, and now to today's LED revolution. The goal has always been the same: get more light, but for way less energy. These early gas lamps were, and I'm not exaggerating, revolutionary. For the first time in history, cities could be lit up safely at night. Factories could run around the clock. This completely reshaped society. It was our first major step toward conquering the darkness. And this chart here shows you exactly why that evolution was so important. An old incandescent bulb? Terribly inefficient.
Most of its energy was just wasted as heat, and it burned out super fast. Fluorescent lights were a huge improvement, for sure. But the modern LED? Oh, it's in a completely different league. It's massively more efficient and can last for an incredible 50,000 hours.
Okay, so designers have this amazing daylight to work with, and a whole toolbox of electric lights. Now they can craft spaces that are comfortable, functional, and even inspiring. But one of the biggest challenges they all face, whether the light is from the sun or a bulb, is this one universal problem. And that problem is glare. Oh, we've all felt it. It's that distracting, uncomfortable brightness that makes you squint. It's pretty much the enemy of good lighting. It causes eye fatigue, it makes it harder to see. Really, it's just too much light in the wrong place. But here's the key thing for designers. Glare is predictable. They know exactly where it's going to be a problem. There's a direct glare zone in your upper field of view and a reflected glare zone right on your desk or your screen. So the whole game is to get light onto your work without putting the light source in one of those zones. And they have a whole bunch of strategies to fight it. Using light-colored ceilings helps bounce light around more softly for more even illumination. How your desk is oriented is critical. You always want a bright window to your side, not right in front of you. And with electric lights, it's all about using fixtures that shield or diffuse the bulb, so you never have to look right at it.
You know, creating a space that's lit really well is always a team effort. You have the interior designer, who's focused on the art, the feel, the atmosphere, the human side of things. And then you have the electrical engineer, who's handling the science, the technical stuff, efficiency, safety codes. The best designs happen when those two perspectives, the art and the science, work together perfectly.
Which brings us to today. For over 100 years, the main goal was just getting more light, any light, into our spaces. But now, with incredible technologies like the LED, the focus has made this really exciting shift from just pure quantity to incredible quality.
I mean, LEDs have opened up so many new possibilities. We now have light sources that aren't just efficient and long-lasting, but they're also smart. We can create these responsive systems that automatically adjust based on how much daylight is coming in, or that turn off when a room's empty. We can create lighting that is truly in sync with us and with the environment.
So the next time you walk into a room, just take a second, pause, and really look at the light. Notice where it's coming from, what kind of shadows it makes, and most importantly, how it makes you feel. Because the light in a space is doing so much more than just helping you see. It's telling a story. And that story was designed just for you. So what story is the light in your room telling?